morning. Welcome back to the Knitspinfibre podcast. Today is Wednesday, the 19th of July. I thought while I'm in the mood, I shall do a video. Today I would have had more finishes, but I had my daughter at the weekend and she took some baby stuff. So I have two finishes to show. And there is quite a few works in progress. One of them is going to be an ongoing one. So when I actually show it, I shall let Liv know not to look because we're going to be doing something for Christmas Advent. And I shall show that. So first things I'll do is I shall show the two finishes that I have. They are both test knits from our lovely Sandra. The first one is called, which I finished yesterday, and I started it the day before. It is, I need to make sure we get the right one. The Clover Baby Diaper Cover. So I did this in the 1 to 3 months, and this yarn is one I bought in Cyprus, so I don't have any info on this yarn, or not that I know of. I did make something else in it. Oh, maybe. Oh, that's it. So I have opened my Ravelry, and yes. So no, there's no info on this because it was a Turkish yarn. The waistband is done in Starcraft Special DK in, I have to make sure I get the right one because I keep thinking it's chocolate brown and it's not. It's done in walnut, and I have enough of this left to do a hat and hopefully some booties, but I'll be doing a jumper in the walnut to go with this. So that is the first one. That's for my grandson. So for my granddaughter, my youngest granddaughter, her second test knit is the I think it's the Joro Baby Pinafore. I think. Let me just check because I have it. Instead of printing it out because she has a lot of pages, I use Knit Companion. I find it easier. Yes, so this is the Joro Baby Pinafore dress. I did the 18 to 24 months because she's one and a half. So this will fit her in the winter. And then I added pockets. So that is, and I have a hair. Let's get rid of that. So that is what I've done, and it's coming out a little bit brighter because I'm downstairs, my daughter's asleep. So it's a little bit slightly deeper. That's about right. And I am using where's the yarn? And I didn't save the yarn band. It's got an unusual name. So it's called Starcraft Special DK in, I think it's Bosenberry. It's got an unusual name. So yeah, and I used about 140 grams of yarn. So I still have enough left to do her a hat. So that's good, which is what I wanted. And then I just found some buttons I had upstairs. But I do need to actually sort out maybe a couple more buttons and put a couple more up here. But this time I don't think it will need it, but we'll see. So that is done for her. So I started, and I don't think I had, so I started this one on Monday and I finished it yesterday. I don't think I actually have the info for the, oh I do have the info for the dress. I just haven't taken a photograph. So I started the 5th of July. And yeah, so it's done in boysenberry. And then I finished it on the 21st of July. And the needles for this one were a 3mm and a 3.5. And the same on this one was a 3mm and a 3.5. So they are my two. that I've done. I just need to, the baby shorts, I just need to send the info for them. So I'm just going to show it. So I bought a ball of yarn down, which I don't need, because one of the ones I can't show because I'd already done it. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to show, this is my Anthology throw, and I actually knit this when I was on the bus. So I'm using, the cream is, any info on the cream? I think it's King Cole zigzagging cream, and I had 100 grams of it, so I know I've got enough. And then the rest of it's just scrap yarn. So the centerpiece is done, and I am sort of following the pattern, but I'm literally doing small balls in a way. I'm looking if I have my scales next to me. So I have some miniature scales. They're weighing out about 10 grams. Around about 10 grams. One of them is 12 grams. So we're between 10 to 12 grams. So I'm not really doing anything special, but I'm basically doing the one repeat in the colour, and then the plain, which I think I've picked up an extra stitch, I need to check, in the cream. So that's literally all I'm doing. Not doing anything particular. And it's quite a simple pattern to do. I just didn't want all these other colours all together. So that, and I'm doing them on, what size needles am I doing? I actually don't know. I think they're on a 4mm. It's in a 4mm, which is US 6. I think it's a US 6. So I am on row 288. It's not too bad. So it uses, yes, a 4mm US 6. And this just gets knit on as and when. There's no deadline at all. And then I actually picked up some stitch markers on my local card book, so I won't be able to actually link these. So I put a stitch marker in there, so I know when I come to do the next section, I'll just put it in, and then I know where I am. And it is living in a Christmas bag still, because I like the bag. That is my first whip. My second whip comes from a book which I found in a charity shop. So I'll try and link it online, and it's called Men's Knit Want. No, yeah. Other way around. Knit Men Want. So it's this book by Bruce Weinstein, and its photographs are done by Gerard Flood. So I am doing a pair of socks for my husband, and they use socks. So they are called the Thick and Warm Socks, and it uses Aran weight. I think it's Aran weight, or is it worsted? It uses, and the pattern is quite good. you, I'll show you. There's no pattern here, so you won't be able to, trying to find it. So it tells you what size men's shoes it is, and then it will give you, it tells you what size needles am I using. I'm using a 4 mil, which is US 6, and then I did a gauge and I got, I think it was 5 stitches to the inch, and it's for your gauge. It's going to tell you how many stitches you cast on and how many rows you do. So it's done that way. So you can do any gauge from 3 stitches up to 5.5. And then you can do, I think I'm doing mine on, I was using, 9-inch circulars. It wasn't working very well. The yarn, I don't know, because I was given some yarn, and it is a wool nylon blend that I do know. So it is like a deep blue. So what I've done is I cast on the first sock to the 1x1 rib, and then I actually put them both on, and then I cast on the second sock and did the rib, and then I put them both on a long circular needle and did up to because it's a bit, the rib was really long and it was too long. I think I did 2 inches, and they wanted like 3.5, and he was like, no, that is too long. So in total the leg is 6, which is normal for him. And then I've actually put them on separate needles, and I've done the first heel flap, and I am doing the gusset shaping, and it is quite a dark yarn, so it is difficult to see, but it is blue. There you go, it's about right. So yeah, and my phone's going off, which I'll ignore because someone always tries to ring me when I'm on my, so yeah. So they are the 2. So these are for my husband, and I have more yarn. And I have more of this upstairs, so if I need any more, I can go and grab it. And I am wrapped around something else. So this one is living in, I'll put this one back in here. I have 2 projects in here. It's living in this bag. So this, if I go anywhere, this is the bag I take because it's perfect. And it comes into a backpack. So I've just put the backpack straps into the back pocket. So this is literally what I use if I'm going like to my daughter's or anything. Unless I take something small like that. So they are my husband's socks. And I'm using Knit Pro Nova interchangeable needles. I was going to do them on double points, but I found it was a bit of a pain in the backside. So I actually decided, no, we'll come into second needles. And I've moved up there. The other one that is in the bag, let's just move that book, is a vintage pattern from a very old book that I found on the car boot. And it's called The Pictorial Guide to Modern Home Knitting. So I found this book. And I am doing, this book is from 19, I did say how old it was. Is it 1942 maybe? I can't remember how old it is. I did find it, but I found it on Ravelry as well, so it might be on there. Library. £19.39. I knew it was an old book. So this is older than my mum. So I found, a baby pattern because I was like, I have to find it. And I actually scanned the pattern in so it didn't have to work through the book. I didn't want to damage it. And it is called the Summer Matinee Coat. Matinee Coat for Summer. So I am doing that pattern. The only thing I found, because there's two patterns in this, there's this one as well. There was no gauge for this pattern, but there was gauge for the other one. So and it says to use 3 ounces of 2-ply fingering. I didn't have, I have some 2-ply fingering, but it was that fine, it was too fine. And the needles it uses, let me just grab my tea. My husband bought me a new cup and it says, if I'm sitting, I'm knitting. She bought me a new cup and I'm drinking some red bush tea. The needles it tells me to use are a number 10. The other pattern uses a number 10 as well. So I spoke to my mum and she was like, on the 2-ply, the number 10 would be really holy. And she was like, swatch for the number 10 for the other pattern and do the same on the summer one, which is, and I have some 3-ply because it uses fingering 3-ply. So I swatched and I got gauge using the fingering 3-ply on number 10, which is a US 3, which is 3.25 mil. And it's the chest saying it is a 21-inch chest. My friend measured her little girl, and she's 2 sometime in August, and this would literally fit her. And I'm thinking, the baby that's laying down, if it sat up, it would be huge, because a 21-inch chest is like 1 year old. This would fit my granddaughter, and she's 1. And lucky enough, I'd only done a little bit, but I might swap this over to some straight needles. I do actually check. I need to check if I have. Oh, I do have some number 10s. They're upstairs. And then do it on them. The pattern is really nice, and this is the front, but the button band is done all in one piece. But there's on this one, instead of putting buttons in, they've done ribbon. I'm going to put buttons from where the yoke is at the very, very top. That is the pattern. It's very, very simple to do. And I had, luckily enough, and you can't buy this one no more, Jonelle Baby 3-ply. So I am using that, which is a nylon acrylic blend, and it's very, very soft. Now I know I have enough to make it, because it says 3 ounces. I think that's, so what do I have in ounces? Because this is grams. So this is 1 point and a bit more. It's about 2 grams, so I need 2 balls. And they are 50-gram balls, and I have about 4. So I know I have enough. So that is the front. But I'm going to swap these over and do them on, I have some vintage size 10s upstairs that I bought at the weekend. So I'm going to swap them over to them. So that is, it's living in this bag at the moment, but it's going to go into a different one. Put them back in there because I know where they are. That's 2. Okay, I'll put that pattern in there. So that's why I scanned it in, because it's such an old book. I didn't want it getting damaged. My next pattern is called, this one is still, I would like to get this done. This one's gone off, this one has travelled to Cyprus. It was knitted on the plane, there and back. And then it got put on hold because I had test knits to do. So now I would like to actually, this is my plan to get this finished as much as I can this week. I am knitting the Maple Baby Overalls by our lovely Sandra. The yarn is Stylecraft Special DK in Duck Egg, so it is this yarn. And I'm still on the first ball, so I still have that much of the first ball, and I have another one. And then it uses, what needles does it use? These are a 3.5 and I think it's a 3.25. I think. Let's check. Baby overalls. So when I did this on the plane, I literally got to underneath the arms. I joined it in the round. I joined it all in one piece, and then it was literally just completely straight. So I had no. So yeah, so it uses 3.5 and a 3mm, which is a US 4 and a US 2.5. So, and then I just need to actually just finish the sleeve, and then start the second one, and then put the button bands in. So that is for my newest grandson. I am doing the 1 to 3 months. Yes, I'm doing the 1 to 3 months. That is living in this bag. So this will be left out because I'd like to get this finished. I have a few things because her babe shower is going to be next month, so I'd like to get some stuff finished. Okay, so I have a poof here that the top lifts up, and I just got my project bags are just inside it, so I'm just going to grab whatever is in here. And these are my socks. So at Christmas I knitted some shorty socks. The heels were too long and they were not very comfortable, so I ripped them out. So I'm restarting. I added another, I went to 4 inches. I did 40 rows of plain knit. And I am on, I think I'm still doing decreases for the gusset. Now, do I have a thing to see what the yarn is? I hope so. And this is my own pattern. So the pattern for this, which is not, I haven't produced the pattern yet. These are the Emma Vanilla socks. And the blue, so this yarn is, it's saying it's Truly Wool Rich. Do I have the yarn band? I don't have the yarn band. Oh, I will have to link it. So the cuffs are done in West Yorkshire Spinners. I think it's bubblegum. And this I don't know. I have got a faintest idea because it's not what it says it is, which is not. It's a different yarn. So I need to remember what yarn I've used for that because I do not know. And I don't think I actually have it in my stash, which is really annoying. And now I'm going really warm. So it might be a King Cole Zigzag brand that I got my mum's. And I'm sorry, the light is going in and out. It's because it's gone really dark and the sun has gone light again. and I'm having a bit of a war moment. So I think it's King Cole Zigzag, but I will find out what it is and I will show link it. And I'm doing it on 2.25 mil, which is a US 1. So yeah, so I literally just ripped them out and started again. So they are literally my bedtimes. So these sit in my bedroom, and they're in yet another EOL bag that I made. So they sit upstairs. So I should chuck them back over there. They can land on the floor because they go back upstairs. My next one I'm doing, I have a lot of whips, is a pair of gloves for my friend. And I am knitting the okay, I'll have to show a photo because I've not even put it on Ravelry yet, which is annoying. I am making the, I don't know if it's called Heli or Heli. And I cannot pronounce the lady's name. Give me a sec. And this is a free pattern on Ravelry. Okay. I am very warm. So I am doing the Heli gloves by this lady. I cannot pronounce her name, so I wasn't going to try. I'm using some hand spun, so there's no yarn brand. So I have them in this bag, and they are done using a 2.5. So I'm using, so I was given some hand spun, so I have this, it's like a plummy, it's like a deep plum, yeah, and then there's grey. Oh, it's not showing up very well, and the grey is a bit of a malted grey. So they are the colours I'm using, which is not showing up very well. No, it will show up against the white. No, it won't. So yeah, so they are the two I'm doing. And I am doing them in the round, because I think it calls for in the round. But you can do them on double points. And I've just started doing the shaping for the thumb gutted. So I actually measured a hand, and we've literally got the same length hands, the same size. So if it fits me, it will fit her. So, yeah, so it's a nice size, not too long, but the yarn is very soft, and I don't know what it is, but I do know it was hand spun by her husband's mum. So I'm using it, and I think this is done in, is it done in fingering weight? What yarn is it done in? Yeah, so it's 4 fingering weight 4 ply, which is what this is. So that is why I'm doing, this is a thank you gift to my friend. Her husband won't wear anything hand knit, but she does. So these are for her for the winter. And I do need to actually sit and get some done. But I need a few baby bits to get done first. And there's no rush. That's the one of the ones I'm doing. And my next one is my daughter's baby shawl. And it is using Patterns Newborn Collection. And I am doing, and there's a few things, these she's marked off some patterns to do. I'm doing, and I'm hoping there's a photo. There is, there's one. So I am doing this baby shawl, this circular one. My yarn is, which I meant to have brought the ball band down. I don't think I had the ball band with me. I have a new ball. And this is called the Alicia baby shawl, baby blanket. Do I have the ball band? No, I don't have the ball band. I think it's James C. Brett 4-ply. And it's done using UK 4, which is a US 6. I am on row 130 out of 200 and something. I'm around about 130, 135 out of 200. Out of 185, 86, sorry. And that's before you come to do the outer edging. And then there's an edging as well. So I am doing this on, I think they're 80mm circular needles. I'm not going to go to the really big ones. There's 100, and they might be on the 100 centimetre. I won't be going on to the next size. Too many stitches. It's too many. The needles will be really big and awkward. So yeah. So I have a lot of stitches. So over the last couple of weeks, I have done from this bird stitch marker up, and it's not a hard pattern to do. It's quite simple. So on this next section now, I am on row 86. So 86 out of 100 and something. And then I think this is the last section on this part, I hope it is. And then there's so many I've got to do. I have to go back to so many rows and then do a section again. And then you're just increasing on each part. So it is, there's a lot of stitches. So I'm up to the 600 mark on stitches. And this is living in this bag, which is a nice size. And I have that much left of that yarn in there, and it's living in a yarn cozy by Knitty Natty, and then there's another one to go in the yarn cozy. So that's living in there at the moment. That does not travel, that stays at home. But she won't see this until it's finished. This is for my grandson. Put that up there. So I do need to lean over and grab a bag. So that is that one. Let's see what's in this one. Oh, we'll leave that one for... Oh, do I have a pattern? Oh, I do. So I'm doing a Dolly outfit for my friend's little girl. It's a free pattern. No, it's not. This is the pattern I printed out because my other one was so disintegrating, and I do need to go online and get another one, a full one. So I'm doing this doll pattern. I'm down the matinee coat, and the matinee coat has like holes, a holy pattern. I'm doing a plain because the dress has got the pattern on the bottom at the top, and then the rest of it's plain. So I just thought, just do the whole lot plain. Now I'm just using just some simple acrylic yarn. I don't know what that's for. And it's living in a cupcake bag. So I've done the body. I am doing the size, I think I'm doing the bindle size. I'm doing the 15 to 18 inch size for a doll. It's very, very small. The body is done. So I just decided to do, after doing this edging stitch with the bubbles in, just do plain. I didn't need the holes. So I've done one sleeve. The sleeve is I do need to actually sit there and sew it down because it's a picot edge sleeve. So yeah, so that is the doll. And I might leave it out because this is going to be a Christmas present. So I do need to actually sit and start getting some bits finished. So that is my friend's little girl. That's the pattern. I think that's the other part of the pattern. That might be something else because that's the pattern is there. I'll put that over there. So I'm just going to shove them up the top. I have 2 more to show. Oh yes, these are. I'm going to show that one in a minute because I need to explain something with that one. This is my daughter's crochet blanket. The yarn I'm using is Emu Treasure DK. So it is 55% nylon, 45% acrylic. It's really soft. My youngest daughter, it was this was a Christmas present bought for me to make. So my youngest daughter picked this for her newest nephew. So I have finished the first repeat up to the grey. Hopefully it's showing, yeah, it's showing. And I am on second repeat and I am on the white. And then I've got 2 more colours. White, yeah, so I've got another silver grey and that one left. And then the edging is used, all of it. So yeah. It's a very simple pattern to do, and I've learnt with this one, when you come to the end of doing the bobble stitch row, count your stitches, because sometimes, especially if you're doing like the next one, you need to count the stitches. And it uses a G hook, which is a 4mm crochet hook. So that is the crochet blanket. This has to get done for the baby shower. So I have this one and the overalls are my main 2 to get done, and then just that baby cardigan. So I'm going to be leaving these 2 out to get done and not work on the other bits. And that's going to go there. I'd like to get this done for her baby shower. My last work's in progress. Oh no, there is one more, but I'll do that last, and then I'll tell Liv she can look away for a few minutes. Is I am doing some vanilla double knit socks. Do I have the yarn? Oh no, the yarn band I do have. The yarn band is by Sirdar Crafts. And it's called Ariel, and I'm doing, well, I've cast on 40 stitches, and this is the vanilla sock pattern by the Crazy Sock Lady, and it's coming out a little bit tight. And then the edging, because it's double knit, and I didn't want to muck around, I didn't have any wool nylon in double knit. So I'm holding one strand of this one is Signet Truly Wool Rich in 4-ply, which is merino nylon blend, and then, which is fingering weight, and then I'm holding it with some Knit Picks Gloss Bare lace weight, which is merino silk blend together, and it's coming out as double. It's coming out the thickness I need. I tried two finger weight, way too thick. That was definitely not working. So this is coming out better, and I'm doing it on a 3.25. A 3.25 mil, which is a US 3. And then what I'm thinking of doing is, the next size up is 48 stitches. That's too many. I've tried it. So I'm thinking of doing 44 stitches and knit the next sock in the 44 stitches and see what it looks like. Because this is a little bit tight, and I think it's going to be too tight. So that's what I'm going to do, and that's living in this bag. So I will be, there's no rush for this, it's just experiment to see what size DK socks fit me. And then I need to find my yarn band, and it's living in a yarn cozy by Knitty Natty. I need to make some more yarn cozies. So that is the one, that is experiment. My last thing, Liv, if you can look away, I can show this. She knows we're both making the same thing. It's just that I don't want her to see some of the colours I'm using for a reason. So we are doing the Cozy Memories blanket, and this is one by a lady on YouTube. There is a pattern for, but we just YouTubed it because I needed to know how to actually get it all so it matches. So it is by Anna Knitter. I will link her YouTube video with on how she does it. So I'm just using scrap yarn. This one is King Hole Zigzag, I do know, but this one I don't know which one that one is. So I'm using some more of the scraps, and I'm doing, her pattern says to do it using 40 stitches, which is quite a bit small. So I asked my friend, and she did hers on 50 stitches, which is a better size, being bigger, and it uses, it's about 5.5 grams. So I weighed one of the balls out. That is 6. And I'll explain this in a minute. So yeah, so I've already done the first 2 squares, and I'm on the third one. So, and then she says to do 5 squares up, 5 squares out, and then join them in the middle. It's really simple to do, and her pattern is, there's no pattern, but if you want to actually go on Ravelry, there's loads of patterns on there. And I'm just using sock yarn. You can do any weight of yarn you want to the size of whatever needles you're using. So how many stitches you use. I'm using a 2.75 mil, which is a US 2. So I've just grabbed some double points. I did originally have it on a circular needle, which they're 2.75, and they might end up using them as well. I don't know. I just need to get a bag to put them in. Oh no, I have one. It's going to live in this bag. This is going to be an ongoing project. So it's literally just going to go in there, but I might change the needles. So they are my works in progress. I have my daughter. So when I went in to go and get the test knit yarn for the baby pinafore dress, my daughter's seen a pattern. She's seen one pattern, and she's looked in the book, and she picked up this pattern by Sirdar, and she's not sure she wants the cardigan doing, but she wants the top making, and it uses Sirdar Stories yarn, and she's picked this one. I have to get these baby things finished first before I start it. So she bought the yarn as well. No, they don't need that. That's rubbish. So it takes. We are doing the first size. I already know our measurements. Because the first size is a 32-34 chest. That comes out at 37 and 3 3/4. So the first size will fit her. The next size will be way too big. And it uses 4 balls of first colour. No, 2 balls of the first colour because we're doing the top. And then 1 of each. And it uses US 8, which is a 4mm. So her first colour is Afterglow. That's the first colour she picked. Colour 2 is Golden Hour. It's the second colour. Then the last one is called Glamping. So they are the colours, and they're going to be in like that. So this is your main colour. So it's going to be, I think it's that way round. Yes, it's that way round. So it'll go like that. So they are the colours that she's picked for her top, which I casted it on. I did a gauge swatch, and I got gauge straight away, so that was good. So I have started it, but and I'm using some Symphony Wood Knit Pro needles because my metal ones are in use, and the yarn is, what yarn is it? So it's 60% cotton, 40% acrylic, and it's quite a nice yarn. She can't use anything ball based because it aggravates her eczema on her hands. So, and then she felt that, she put it on her face and stuff, and she was fine with that. So yeah, so she bought that, and she bought the pattern. Then she'll make up her mind if she wants the cardigan as well. Because there was another cardigan and it was like long, like ankle length. And I said, will you wear it? Because it's like really long. But then she looked in the book and seen that, and she said, but I would wear that more. So I can go back upstairs. And then the weekend when we was out, I picked this up on my local car boot. And it is a knitting bag, but it's like, it says, I love yarn. But what I'm going to do, it is way too big. I'm going to actually cut it down and make it into a bag so it's that size. Put a handle on it. I just need to sit and sort it out. Right. Okay. Right. For the next bit, I meant to say, Liv, you can come back. But you can't, because there's one more bit to show. Sorry. I am going to make, me and my friend are going to do an advent between each other. We are going to send each other yarn for our blankets. We're going to use some scrap. So I bought some little bags, and there's enough for 25, and no, there was 50, so they're 25 each. And then one of them bags will have some extra goodies in. So I've already done one to check it would work. So we're just going to do oddments, a bit like, oddments like this, and we're going to weigh it out at 6 grams. And they'll go in here, and then she'll give us some stickers as well, and we'll seal it up, and then put 1 to 24. So these are going to be our advent for this year. So Liv, you can come back. She knows what the bags are. That's what I'm saying about that. The other thing I'm going to be doing, which I'm going to start next week. Can't do it Tuesday because I have the dentist. That's all I'm saying. I'm not happy with it. So I am going to be starting a knitting course, but I am going to do, because I can knit English and I can knit continental. So I'm going to do, one video will be continental style. The other will be English style, because I was taught English style by my dad. And then I taught myself continental style. And I do get a few people be like, but how do you do that continental style? But how do you do it in English? So I'm going to do it in both. I have one book. I will check if I can get this online. I'm hoping we can still get this book. This is what I picked up. I'm hoping you can still get it. If not, I shall go into the works in the UK, see what books, see if they do a beginner's knitting book. Because you normally have them in there really cheap. And then I can link it. But I'm hoping, this one's by DK, so dk.com, but I will check if you can get it. Because this, if it can, I could use this. Because this is a good beginner's book. Then the pattern, there's going to be a knitting pattern, which the first knitting pattern I will do once I've done the basics is, and I sent it to it is a free pattern on Hobbycraft. I'm hoping it will take me to. Right, let me see if I can get onto the website. Go on. Copy. And I thought the first thing I would do was, once you know the basics, because I'll start off with some squares, but it'd be nice to actually do a pattern, but I won't do an adult pattern, so I shall do a children's cardigan pattern, which is a good one to start off with. So let me turn the camera, and I already have this pattern. I was just trying to find it. So this is a Sirdar snuggly, and it is 1782, and it is a free pattern. So I should be doing this pattern, and it's a good one because I can actually show, I can teach how you read the pattern and do, and this one has raglan shaping. So you'll learn how to do like increases, decreases. It's just a simple children's pattern. It goes from birth up to 7 years old, and it's got, I'm going to do it without the hood, it'll have a collar on it, and there's a hooded version as well. So I have that pattern. I actually downloaded it. I will print the pattern out, so I should, but this book is good because it goes, I have another one, but it is really thick and it goes into too much detail. So it goes into all the different yarns, and on that pattern it uses, let me just get the actual pattern. It's on my phone. I think it, I think it uses 3 1/4 needles and 4 mil, which is US 8 and a US 3. I'm hoping I actually have this one because I'm sure I saved it. Granton pattern. Okay, yeah, I will find out what needles it takes, and I will print the pattern out, so it'll have everything in it. But this book, which shows you sort of like what sort of needles you need. And I'm going to do it, when I do this pattern, I'm going to do one in English style, the other one in continental, but I shall do a sample using straight needles and a sample using second needles, because you can do both. It doesn't make a difference. And then it's got all different equipment you need, and then I'll just start off with basic equipment like tape measure, needles, and then because it uses a DK weight yarn, I will use just something like, I will swatch it in something like Starcraft Special DK, because this one can be slightly a lightweight, and I will check it with what other DK weight yarn I've got, because I don't think I actually have any of the actual yarn it uses. But you can use, as long as you get gauge, it doesn't, to me it doesn't matter. So yeah, so it comes up with your different techniques, different ways of holding the yarn. So I'm going to try and link this book if I can. It will be easier if I can link this book, so if anybody wanted this book they can get it. You think you can get it in, this is a hardback, I found mine in the charity shop. You might be able to get it in your local library, but I think you can also get it as a soft book as well, but it's just an ideal one to have. But I shall have a look next time I go in at the weekend to see what they have in there. If they have a basic beginner's knitting book that you can buy online still, not be out of production, otherwise that would be a bit of a pain. So yeah, so that is my plan, and that's going to, I'm going to start Monday, and I would like to do it for the week, but Tuesday I can't do because I'm not going to be good on Tuesday. Because I was hoping to do the first one, it was due, unless I actually, because tomorrow's Thursday. So I might do Monday, you might end up with 2 videos on Monday. And 2 compact the Tuesday one, because I'd like to do the first week of just the beginning, and then the second week is I am away one week as well, so that's going to be interesting. We might end up having to miss a week. The first week of August I am away. I am with Liv. I do need to speak to her about that, and then I would like to actually get into actually knitting the beginnings of a baby cardigan. Because I was going to do an adult one, I was like, no, I think that's too big. And if I do a sample scarf, I'll call it as a scarf, it'll be like a sample. So the beginning will be just all knit stitches, so they call it garter stitch, so you'll knit every row. And then the second part would be stockinette stitch, so it's knit row, purl row. And then there'll be different patterns that will go into it and do it that way. So it'll be just like one long, it'd be like a scarf, but it would just be like a sample. And this will only be about maybe 20-30 stitches wide. That is what I want to do. But I do need to actually do some prep. So I shall, at the moment, that is all I've got. But so I've got 2 I need to get done. One's the baby blanket, the other one is the overalls. They are my plan to try and get done by next week, she says. If not, I'll be taking them with me. But they need to be done for the whatever it is, the middle of August. They need to be finished because they're presents. But other than that, I shall go, and I shall speak to you all soon. So, but if you've got any questions or anything, and I've actually put in a poll of English, continental, or both, but it's going to be, I think I'm going to end up doing both. I've already spoken to a couple of people and they've said do both. So I'm just going to take the poll off, and I shall do both. But they'll be in separate folders. English or continental. And I shall, I'll speak to you soon. I'll see you later. Bye.